Welcome to the 4 pillars of confidence, how to become the walking embodiment of confidence. Everyone always says confidence is key. Everyone talks about loving yourself and self-worth. But there isn't really a tangible road that is provided, right? You might hear people say, do some affirmations, take yourself for a spa day, treat yourself. And you might have tried all of those things. And they might have worked for a period of time, but they didn't help you to fully embrace your confidence and step into it and become this fully embodied, confident person. And you know that this is what you need to do to step into the next level of your business growth, right? And this is where my 4 pillars of confidence come in. This is my own patented signature idea that I have come up with that is a tangible basis for building confidence. Because how I like to define confidence is being in alignment with all parts of yourself. So you cannot be fully embodied in your confidence if one part of you is battling with another part of you. Because this inner turmoil is what erodes your confidence. And fully being able to embody your confidence means realizing where this resistance is occurring, where this misalignment is, so that you can come into alignment and you can create that inner peace. Because what confidence is inner peace and acceptance of yourself, right? And sometimes that looks like feeling like an incredibly beautiful, glorious goddess. And sometimes it means just fully embracing and accepting and nurturing yourself in the moments that you don't, right? But it means always this loving feeling towards yourself, this fully accepting feeling towards yourself. It's not always this jubilant joy and loving every single thing about you at that moment, right? Because you're gonna have moments where you feel bad, but it's how do you treat yourself and how do you accept yourself in those moments? These are the things that really, really affect your magnetism and how you're showing up in your business, right? They're gonna affect your vulnerability. So let me start by sharing a little bit about who I am. And then I'm gonna dig right into sharing about my 4 pillars of confidence. So I am Navi Bliss. I am a love and confidence coach. I'm an inspirational speaker and I'm an author. And it is my mission in life to help people to fall in love with themselves completely so that they can easily and effortlessly attract the life and love of their dreams. Because magnetism and attraction is the same across the board. Whether you want to attract your soulmate, whether you want to attract your soulmate client, whether you want to attract your soul's opportunity, all of these things are all about magnetism, attraction, and alignment. And the reason that I'm so passionate about this is because I have been on this journey myself. I've been in that place where I was at the lowest of lows, where I grew up in an abusive home, where I grew up without any self-worth and confidence, and I went searching for it in all the wrong places. And my turning point was walking away from my 2nd abusive relationship in a row and realizing that I couldn't end up in that situation again because I wasn't gonna survive. And I was so lucky to have walked away that it set me on this whole self-growth and healing journey, because ultimately the things that happened to me weren't my fault, but I knew that I was the common denominator because I was choosing and I was allowing these things into my life. And if I wanted them to change, then I had to be the change. And through this, I learned that I had the ability to give myself all of the things that I'd been seeking outside of myself this entire time. And when I did that, I became this incredible magnet for everything that I wanted. And this is why I'm so passionate about helping other people do the same thing, because like I said, I know what it's like to be in the lowest of the lows, and I know what it's like to fully love and accept yourself every single day. And when you're in the lowest of the lows, you can't even imagine that, because I couldn't imagine that, but you can. And you being in alignment is the key to being in alignment for all of the opportunities that you desire. So I'm going to start by digging in and going right into my first pillar of confidence. So my first pillar of confidence is living your values. So as I say this, you might think, yeah, of course, Navi, of course I'm living my values. But here's the thing. Most people have some values that are in conflict with other values that they have, that is creating this inner turmoil within themselves that does not allow them to be at peace within themselves, that does not allow them to step into their confidence. So what do I mean by that? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. So an example of one value that you might have is you might believe that hard work is the key to success, and you want to be, and you value financial success. And then you have another value where you value fun and freedom in your life. Now, those values are in contradiction with each other. Because if you think hard work and hustle is the key to success, and you're valuing success and you want financial success, which, by the way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with, right? But then you also value fun and freedom. That means that every single time that you are hustling and you are working hard, the part of you that values fun and freedom is feeling frustrated and resentful and checked out. And every single time you are just letting go and having fun, that part of you that believes the key to success is hard work and hustle is feeling frustrated and resentful and checked out. And you see how in this scenario where half of you is checked out in either situation, how can you be standing there in your full confidence and in your full magnetism? You can't. And if you're not checked in your full confidence and your full magnetism, how is anyone else going to check in and believe in you in that way, right? And in business, your clients won't be able to believe in you if you don't believe in you. So how do you fix this issue, right? You need to examine you need to identify your values, and you need to examine what the thinking behind these values is, right? And you have several different choices. So you could decide that actually you don't value fun and freedom very much, and you just value success and hard work and hustle, and you just want to put all of your focus there, and you're going to let go of that other value because it's not important to you. You could also let go of the hard work and hustle and success and just focus on fun and freedom, right? You wouldn't be wrong in either scenario. The other thing you can do is redefine what each of these things means to you and how you're achieving them. So you could decide that success is achieved through experiencing fun and freedom. That you don't have to hustle hard. That when you are experiencing fun and freedom, your creativity lights up, you get so many ideas, and that catapults your success. So the part of you that values success can be tapped into the fun and freedom part, and you can be sitting there in your full magnetism. And all of these ideas that you're getting, you can implement them towards your success. And the fun and freedom part of you can be checked in and present in that as well, right? So this involves a lot of self-examination. It also involves examination of your values and your ideas. And if they are authentically yours, or if those were values or ideas placed on you by another person in your life, by likely a caregiver, a family member. And a lot of times, the way we honor our family members, our caregivers, is to simply decide that we're going to follow along with these ideas that they've instilled in us about how things should be. But you can love and respect and cherish somebody without doing that, right? Part of living your most authentic and aligned, confident life is to define these things for yourself. Part of stepping into your most mature, adult, highest self is to take the time to define these things for yourself, right? To figure out, is this mine? Is this what I really believe? Is this actually important to me? Or was I told this was important to me and then I've bought into it? Right? And that's why I said for each person, the thing is going to be different, and you get to decide how you're going to figure this out for each thing, right? I'm going to give you another example to help clarify this thought for you. So another example might be that you value being fit and healthy and leading an active lifestyle. But then there's another part of you that values traveling and new experiences and trying new foods and having those experiences. And those foods don't always fit into your idea of what is fit and healthy. So now when you're either when you're working out and you're on some very strict healthy protocol or diet, the part of you that enjoys these different experiences, these different foods, is feeling resentful and checked out. Or that part of you that values this super fit, healthy lifestyle, when you're out having these different food experiences, trying new restaurants, that part of you is feeling frustrated and checked out at yourself, right? So, like I said, you get to decide here. You could decide that you value being fit and healthy, and this is your parameters around being fit and healthy is that you have to eat these foods and do these things at all of these times, and that's the only thing that you value, and you're actually going to let go of this other part of you that enjoys all of these delicious other types of foods and adventures and restaurants and things like that, because it's actually conflicting with the thing that you really, really value the most. You could decide that you value these other experiences and you want to live your life that way, and you don't want to think about your life in terms of a diet or anything like that, and you just want to focus on the fun aspect of it. Or you could redefine this for yourself, right? You could integrate this and integrate these parts of yourself. You could decide that going on food adventures and trying new foods and having these days where you experience this is part of a healthy lifestyle. And it encourages your well-being right? You could redefine this for yourself in this scenario. Either way, you get to decide. So this is just another example. And there's going to be so many different areas of your life where you see this. I picked these because these are very common examples that show up for a lot of people. But to go through this, to really work through this pillar, you have to sit down and identify all of your values and see where they're conflicting. And if you can't quite figure it out, I want you to take some time and thinking about the areas of your life where either you feel checked out or you feel a lot of frustration or you feel guilt. Because that is going to tell you where you have values that are conflicting with other values that you have. And you have to figure out how to come into alignment with them to eliminate that. And like I said, there's different ways to do this, but the first part is the reflection part of this. And as you start to come into alignment with these parts of yourself, and you don't have this part of yourself fighting with this part of yourself, or this part of yourself checked out from this part of yourself, think of how much more confident you're going to be. As you imagine these parts of yourself not battling, I know you can viscerally feel how much more confident you would naturally be, right? And how that those parts of you being in misalignment is eroding your current level of confidence, so that you can show up fully embodied, so that when you speak, people want to listen to you. They are interested in what you have to say because you're oozing authenticity. Because as long as these parts of you are battling each other, you're never going to be in your full authenticity. And because there's part of you that's questioning another part of you, and therefore other people are going to question you as well, because that's the energy that you're bringing forward. It's not one of assurity. And when you can step into the energy of assurance, confidence, you will bring that energy out from other people towards you as well. So I'm going to move on to my second pillar of confidence, which is to live your passions. You are never going to be confident about a life that is devoid of passion or that you are not passionate about. You simply will not. So you have to integrate your passions into your life. I mean, I want you to just think about having a conversation with somebody, and that person is telling you about their day, and they're just like, yeah, I was busy, I did this and blah. And how excited are you to listen to that person? Now imagine someone talking about their day and they said, oh my goodness, I got to do this, and then I was working on this, and then it inspired me to do this. Whether you know about the topic that they're talking about or whether you don't, the energy that brings forward from you, you're going to automatically be more interested because they're interested. And this is where in business, you're going to have to take a very, very serious look at, are you genuinely passionate about what you want to go into business? Like what area you want to go into business, right? Because if you're going into business because your friend did this or this person did this and you think it's a great way to make money, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make money, okay? But if that's why you're doing it, it is going to be very difficult for you to be successful, because it is going to be very difficult for you to bring forth the passion that is necessary. Now, you could be selling teacups or crocheted tea covers, and you have an excited passion about this, and you can be wildly successful. because what people are going to buy into is your passion and the energy that you are bringing forward. So you have to be passionate about the things that you're doing. And yes, if you have a business, there's going to be tasks that you are doing within your business that don't excite you. But the overall idea of your business has to excite you. And you also need to create a balanced life that ignites passion in you every single day, because some of those mundane tasks or some of those hard days are going to drain your passion, and you need other elements of your life to ignite your passion. So you need hobbies, you need interests, and your hobbies don't need to be exciting to anybody but you, but they have to light you up, right? So for some person, it might be crocheting. For someone else, it might be sports. For someone else, it might be video games. It doesn't really matter what it is. It has to be something that lights you up, that ignites passion within you. Because as this passion is ignited within you, it will elicit the emotion of excitement from another person, because they're going to feel your excitement and that's going to feel exciting towards them. So the very first thing is you need to have a business that lights you up and you're passionate about. And if you don't have that yet, if you're thinking, okay, well, actually, I started this business because I thought it was my way to make money and I need to make money, then my suggestion to you is, if you actually want to really, really embody confidence, is let go of that. If you have to take another job, just a random job that you have to take to make money in the meantime, do it. And then take the time to figure out what you're passionate about, what lights you up. Because people will always buy into whatever lights you up because of the energy that you are going to exude. Take a moment and close your eyes and take a deep breath and think about speaking about the thing that lights you up, that you are absolutely passionate about. You already know that other people will want to buy into whatever that is. You already know. Because it's so soul aligned for you. And if you're having problems selling or showing up in business, it is because you are lacking this type of passion and this type of soul alignment. Sometimes it doesn't mean you have to change your whole genre or throw your business out the window, but it means reconfiguring a little bit, right? But either way, it involves delving in deep and taking a good look at yourself. My next pillar of confidence is to cultivate self-trust. You cannot love someone that you don't trust, and that includes yourself. And so many people make promises to themselves every single day, and they break those promises that they make to themselves every single day, which causes them to lose trust in themselves and to lose faith in themselves. And oftentimes you're making these promises to yourself and you're breaking these promises to yourself because you're making these wild and lofty promises to yourself because you're so unhappy with where you are right now that you want to do a 180 in your life overnight, right? So an example of this might be you don't work out and you've set a New Year's resolution that you're gonna work out 2 hours a day, an hour twice a day. And that's fine, that's amazing, that's great. But it's very hard to implement, to go from 0 to 2 hours of working out twice a day, right? It's a lot. But you're unhappy with the way you look and you want to get fit super fast. The problem is, you make a promise to yourself like this, it's very easy to break this promise. So maybe you do it one day, and then the second day you hit snooze 10 times, you miss the first workout, and then you say, why even bother with the second workout? By the fourth day, you're totally off of it and you feel like garbage. You've eroded your trust in yourself. You don't believe yourself when you say things. And because you don't believe yourself when you say things to yourself, other people don't have faith and confidence in you either, because you're not bringing forth the energy of faith and confidence. Right? And so this just involves really, really examining the types of promises you're making to yourself, and oftentimes dialing them down, dialing them way, way down. Because those baby steps and those small steps are actually going to help you cultivate that self-trust. They're going to help you cultivate that confidence that's going to help give you the energy to keep going, and is going to get you to where you want to go faster. So if we took the example of the situation of going from not working out at all, instead of saying you're going to work out 2 hours a day, twice a day, maybe you would say, okay, I want to take my health seriously. So I'm going to incorporate 10 minutes of exercise every single day. Now, that isn't going to get you to whatever fitness goal you want in a week or a month. But the thing is, every day that you keep that promise to yourself, which is a promise that you can keep to yourself, because it's a more realistic promise to keep to yourself, right? Because even if you don't wake up early, it's easy to find 3 minutes here, 3 minutes here, 3 minutes here in your day, and all of a sudden you have 10 minutes of exercise that you've completed in your day, right? And instead of feeling like garbage because you broke that promise, every day that you keep that promise, you feel a little better. You feel more capable. You feel more confident. You feel more confident. You instill this greater faith in yourself, and therefore the people around you will also feel that towards you. Right? When it comes to business things, instead of having these really, really lofty goals, and it doesn't mean that you can't have big goals, but instead of making these promises of, okay, I'm going to do a million things, right? Okay, maybe you want to write a book. I'm going to write a chapter every single day, and I'm going to finish my book in 12 days. That's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. The pressure alone can keep you from even starting. And by not starting, by not following through, you're eroding your own confidence. You're eroding your own belief in yourself. It could be, I'm going to write a sentence every single day. Because even if life gets busy, even if life gets crazy, you can find the time to write a sentence. But there are going to be some days that you're going to start writing that sentence, and that sentence is going to turn into a paragraph, and then it's going to turn into a page. And before you know it, your book is going to be written. But by setting that lofty goal of I'm going to write a chapter every single day and I'm going to write this book in 12 days, you don't even start and you certainly don't finish. And you feel like garbage. And you feel like a bigger piece of garbage than when you came up with the idea of writing the book in the first place. And you don't feel capable and you don't believe in yourself. So this pillar of confidence is all about getting crystal clear on the promises that you're making to yourself and how to refine these promises to things that you can keep. And to know that every time you keep this, you are going to feel better. And you already know that. If you've ever had a to-do list and you've checked off something on your to-do list, you know how good it feels. Because it feels good to keep the promises that you make to yourself. So take a look at your life. Where are you breaking your own heart? Where are you letting yourself down? Where are you destroying your own self-belief? Where are you breaking your own self-trust? And start to remedy this. And this will start to naturally elevate your confidence and therefore your magnetism. And my fourth pillar of confidence is to practice loving kindness towards yourself. And there's 4 areas of your life where you need to practice loving kindness towards yourself. Because all of these areas matter and all of this works synergistically. So the first area of your life where you need to practice loving kindness towards yourself is when it comes to your mental health. The second area where you need to practice loving kindness towards yourself is your physical health. The third area where you have to practice loving kindness towards yourself is your spiritual well-being. And the fourth area is your aesthetic well-being. And the reason why all of these things matter is, one, because confidence is truly a practice. It's not something that you do once and then you achieve this amazing high level of confidence in your life. It is something that you have to engage in on a consistent and regular basis, because every time you engage in these self-care activities on a consistent and regular basis, you reinforce to yourself that you deserve to be cared about on a consistent and regular basis, that you matter on a consistent and regular basis. And this is how you become the walking embodiment of confidence. So for your mental well-being, these things, it does not have to be monumental, but you have to do something every single day. You could do a minute of breath work. You could do a 1-minute meditation. You could go for a walk outside. The possibilities are endless, and it does not actually need to be the same thing every single day. It could be a different thing every single day, but you need to do something for your mental well-being, because it's reaffirming to yourself that your mental well-being matters, that you matter in this way, and you deserve to be taken care of, and you are going to take care of yourself in this way, right? And some days it could be small things, and some days it could be big things. You know, maybe it's going to be a therapy session one day, and another day it's just going to be a few minutes of deep breathing. But you're doing it every single day to reinforce this to yourself. The second area is your physical well-being, because you're not going to be confident if you don't feel physically well. And again, it doesn't need to be big, and it doesn't need to be the same thing every single day. It could be as simple as waking up in the morning and drinking a glass of water. signifying to yourself that you deserve to be hydrated, that you deserve to be cared for in this way. You're going to start the day by taking care of yourself in this way, right? It could involve training for a marathon, right? It could involve anything. And there are going to be days where it could be the big things, and there's going to be days where it's going to be the small thing, but you have to do it every single day, because your physical well-being is something that deserves to be cared for every single day. And the more that you do it, you will reinforce this to yourself. Next is your spiritual well-being. And this matters because your spiritual well-being is how you connect to the world that is bigger than you. And there are going to be moments in your life where your problems seem big and insurmountable. And this is where connection to a world that is bigger than you is going to help you. If you are religious, partaking in activities related to your religion could be part of something that you do for your spiritual well-being. If you're not, you could go out and you could look at the stars in the night sky. You could hug a tree. It could be really anything, but anything that helps you connect to the fact that you are part of a larger ecosystem, that you are not alone. Because this is going to help you to navigate the tough things that come up in your life, to know that you are a part of something bigger, because you are a part of something bigger. And connecting to it on an everyday basis is going to help reinforce to you that you are not alone, because you are connected to something bigger. And then the last way you're going to practice loving kindness towards yourself is by doing something for your aesthetic well-being. And this is simply because you are not going to feel confident and you are not going to feel amazing if you are not taking care of your aesthetic well-being. And I don't mean that you need to get glammed and to the nines every single day, because you don't. You can, but that isn't necessary. But basic self-care, such as showering and putting on some clean clothes, is, right? And I know that we all experienced this during the pandemic. You probably went a few extra days where you didn't shower, where you didn't leave the house. Did that make you feel good? Did that make you feel confident? Of course it didn't. It made you feel like garbage. So there's basic hygiene things that you need to do for yourself every single day to take care of your aesthetic well-being. And whatever you do beyond that is fantastic, right? And just like with all of the other things that we're doing for self-care, some days it's going to be the big things and some days it's going to be the small. Someday you're going to go full glam, you're going to get your hair done, you're going to get your makeup done, you're going to put on those heels, and some days you're just going to shower and put on a clean shirt. And it doesn't matter, because you're still doing something for your aesthetic well-being, and it's going to help you to feel clean and fresh and confident. And these are things that you need to engage in on a daily basis. And then the bonus of practicing all 4 pillars of confidence is whatever we put our energy towards, whatever we focus on, we start to genuinely and really care about. We start to view that thing as special. So I want you to think of someone in your life, or I want you to think of a celebrity that you were really focused on, and you researched and you learned every detail about that person, right? And they became really special and really important towards you because you put all of this energy towards this person. You put all of this effort towards this person, and all of that energy and effort made that person special in your eyes. When you exert this energy and effort towards yourself, the byproduct of that is that you will become special and important to yourself. And when you become special and important toward yourself, everyone else will start to see you that way as well, right? That is when you step into your true magnetism. That is when you can show up in your authenticity and your vulnerability, when you can be fully present in every moment. Because that is the gift of what being embodied in your confidence really is. Being able to be fully present in every moment, right? And this is why some people fear confidence, because they think, okay, confidence means that I'm going to be arrogant. I don't want to be too full of myself. But how a confident person interacts when they walk into a room is they are fully present, and they can show up and be present for all of the people that they're with. They can have conversations with them. They can pay attention to them because they're not focused on themselves. And someone who is insecure and who is not confident is a person who is going to walk into the room and they have to size everyone else up, and they have to size themselves up in comparison, and they're having a conversation with somebody, and the whole time that person is talking, they're thinking about themselves and how they measure up to that person. They're not fully present and engaged in that conversation. So what your confidence truly is a gift to be fully present. And that is a gift that is so magnetic, because it is extraordinarily rare, but it need not be. Yet it is. Because how many times have you had a conversation in your life where someone showed up and they were fully present with you? And if you can be that person for other people, you're going to be unforgettable to them. You're going to be the person that they come back to, that they want to do business with, that they want to date, that they want to be friends with. Because that is incredibly magnetic. It is an incredible gift to the world. So this has been my masterclass on the 4 pillars of confidence, how to become the walking embodiment of confidence. And this is just the very basis, the tiniest starting point of the work that I do. But if this is something that you are interested in and you want to delve deeper into, then definitely reach out to me, because I would love to support you on this journey. But either way, whether you reach out to me, whether you decide to delve deeper with me, I know that this is a starting point that will help catapult you to a greater level of confidence, a greater level of alignment within yourself, and start to bring you into your magnetism. And that is absolutely the thing that I wish for you.